Imagine this for a moment. What if you could lower your blood pressure without another pill? And in doing so, add 5, maybe even 10 more healthy years to your life. That might sound bold, but science is showing us that certain everyday habits, the ones most of us don't even think about, are quietly pushing our blood pressure higher. And here's the twist. Once you recognize them and make the right shifts, your body can begin to recover in as little as a few weeks. I've seen it firsthand. Seniors who once struggled to walk up the stairs now do it with ease. People who thought sleep was lost forever begin resting through the night again. And it all started with letting go of just a handful of silent habits. So here's my promise. In the next few minutes, I'll reveal 5 habits doctors quietly wish every senior would stop. Some may surprise you. One might even shock you. Stick with me, because any single one of these could be the missing piece for your health. And before we dive in, do me one favor. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss a chance to hear health tips that can truly change the course of your life. Now let's get started. Let me ask you this. Have you ever sat down to check your blood pressure at home, only to see the numbers creeping higher, even though you've been taking your medicine and doing your best? Or maybe it feels like your energy just isn't there anymore. A short walk leaves you winded, your nights are restless, and some mornings you wonder if your body is quietly working against you. Does that sound like you? I hear this story again and again from my patients in their 60s and 70s. They tell me, "Doctor, I guess this is just old age." But here's the truth. Aging doesn't have to mean surrendering to high blood pressure, fatigue, or constant worry. The real problem often lies in habits so ordinary we barely notice them. A sandwich we've eaten for years, a drink we grab without thinking, a comfort food that feels harmless. Each one seems small, but together they quietly push blood pressure higher and higher, like turning up the pressure in a garden hose a little more each day. And here's the part most people never hear. It isn't always your age, or your medication, or even your genetics holding you back. More often, it's 5 simple habits woven into daily life that silently keep your blood pressure from improving. The good news? Once you recognize those habits and make small changes, your body can respond quickly. I've seen it happen time and time again. In just a moment, I'll tell you why this mission, helping seniors uncover these hidden habits, has been my life's work for over 3 decades. Before we dive deeper, let me share a little about myself and why this subject is so close to my heart. My name is Dr. Jonathan Miller. For more than 30 years, I've worked as a geriatric specialist. My life's work has been helping men and women in their later years hold on to something we all value: independence, energy, and dignity. Because let's be honest, high blood pressure isn't just about a number on a monitor. It's about whether you feel steady when you climb the stairs, whether you trust your body enough to drive across town, whether you still have the energy to enjoy a family gathering without slipping away early. That's why I'm passionate about lowering blood pressure naturally. It's not about replacing medications recklessly. It's about uncovering the everyday habits that quietly push those numbers higher and showing people that small, smart changes can make all the difference. I've seen this happen countless times, and one story always comes to mind. Frank was 70 when he came to see me. A retired mechanic, tough as nails on the outside, but lately he'd been feeling like his body was betraying him. His experience shows exactly how hidden daily choices can keep blood pressure stuck, and how turning them around can change the course of life after 60. One of my patients, Frank, is 70 years old. He's the kind of man who spent most of his life outdoors, working with his hands, fixing things that were broken. But when he first sat down across from me, I noticed something right away. His energy was gone. He leaned forward, elbows on his knees, and said, "Doc, my blood pressure just won't behave. I take my medicine, but I feel like my body is working against me." And he wasn't exaggerating. Frank said mornings felt like pushing through thick mud. Even after a full night's sleep, he woke up tired. Walking up the porch steps left him winded. His wife worried every time he stood too quickly, afraid he might get dizzy and fall. He admitted he had stopped meeting friends at the diner because he didn't have the energy. And fishing, something he loved, had become a memory, not a weekend plan. His world was slowly shrinking, not because he wanted it to, but because his body forced it on him. We checked his tests. Nothing alarming. His heart looked steady, his kidneys were fine, his sugar levels were in range. On paper, he looked okay, yet his blood pressure numbers kept climbing higher than they should. So I asked him to walk me through a typical day. His meals, his routines, the little habits he didn't think twice about. At first, he shrugged and said, "It's just the same as always." But as we peeled back the layers, I started to notice patterns. Patterns that revealed more than any lab test ever could. And that's where the real story begins. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, taking the pills, following doctor's orders, but your body still refuses to cooperate? If that sounds familiar, let me know in the comments. You'd be surprised how many people are going through the same thing, and your words could encourage someone else. For Frank, those small, everyday choices turned out to be the hidden reason his blood pressure wouldn't settle down. And when we uncovered them, his health took a direction he never expected. Thank you for staying with me this far. I can tell you're someone who truly cares about your health, and I respect that deeply. Now, before we dig into Frank's hidden habits, let me ask you something personal. Think for a moment. Is there a daily routine you've always believed was good for your health? Maybe a certain food you eat often, maybe a little ritual like climbing stairs after dinner or sprinkling something extra on your meals. Hold that thought. Now, I'd love for you to write it down in the comments. Yes, go ahead. Share one habit you believe is helping you stay healthy, because in just a few seconds, we're going to take a closer look together. And here's the twist. Some of those habits, the ones that seem harmless, even smart, may actually be pushing your blood pressure higher without you realizing it. So, did you type yours in? Good. Let's see if it shows up in the list of habits doctors like me most want seniors to stop. Habit number 1, adding too much salt, even healthy sea salt. We all know salt can raise blood pressure, but here's the catch. Many seniors switch from table salt to gourmet salts, sea salt, Himalayan salt, thinking it's healthier. Truth is, your body doesn't care what color the crystal is. Sodium is sodium. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 1,500 milligrams of sodium per day for adults with high blood pressure. Yet most seniors I see are eating twice that, around 3,000 milligrams daily, often without realizing it. That extra sodium makes your body hold on to water like a sponge that never gets wrung out. More fluid in your blood vessels means higher pressure against the walls. Here's a swap. Instead of grabbing the salt shaker, reach for herbs like rosemary, garlic, or lemon zest. You'll add flavor without pushing your numbers up. Now let me ask you, be honest. Do you reach for the salt shaker at the dinner table? If so, type yes in the comments. You're not alone, but recognizing it is the first step to change. Habit number 2, overdoing good. Exercise like stair climbing. Staying active is crucial. But not all exercise is created equal for seniors with high blood pressure. Take stair climbing. Many of my patients tell me, "Doc, I climb the stairs every day. That's my workout." The problem? Stair climbing is a burst activity. It spikes your heart rate and blood pressure suddenly. For someone with hypertension, that can strain the heart and arteries instead of strengthening them. A study in the Journal of Hypertension showed that short, intense exertion raised systolic pressure by 20 to 30 points in older adults, compared to more gradual movements. The better option is steady, low-impact activity, walking, swimming, Tai Chi, 30 minutes a day. These lower pressure over time instead of shocking the system. So next time you think more pain equals more gain, remember this. For blood pressure, slow and steady truly wins the race. Habit number 3, drinking healthy juices, loaded with sugar. Another trap, fruit juice. Sounds healthy, right? After all, it's made from fruit. But here's the truth. Most juices, even the ones labeled 100% natural, are packed with sugar. An 8-ounce glass of orange juice contains about 21 grams of sugar. That's 5 teaspoons. The sugar rush spikes insulin, which in turn drives blood pressure up. A large review in Nutrients Journal found that people who consumed more than one sugary drink per day had a 12% higher risk of developing hypertension. The swap? Eat whole fruit instead. You get the fiber, which slows down the sugar release, and you feel fuller longer. Or infuse your water with lemon or berries for flavor without the spike. So let me check in. Do you pour yourself a glass of juice in the morning thinking it's a healthy choice? If yes, maybe today is the day to rethink that routine. Habit number 4, napping too much during the day. Now, this one surprises people. Sleep is important, of course, but long daytime naps over an hour can actually throw your body's rhythm out of balance. A study published in Hypertension in 2020 found that people who napped more than an hour daily had a 34% higher chance of elevated blood pressure. Why? Because it disrupts your nighttime sleep, leading to lighter, less restorative rest. Poor nighttime sleep raises stress hormones, and stress hormones raise blood pressure. Instead, aim for consistent quality nighttime sleep, 7 to 8 hours. If you must nap, keep it to 20 to 30 minutes. Think of it like charging your phone. A quick boost works. Overcharging wears out the battery. Habit number 5, processed low-fat foods. Here's another sneaky one. For decades, food companies have pushed low-fat products as the healthy choice. Low-fat yogurt, low-fat snacks. But what happens when fat is taken out? Manufacturers add sugar, starch, or salt to make it taste good. A Harvard study found that adults who ate more low-fat processed foods had a 23% greater risk of developing metabolic syndrome, which includes high blood pressure. What works better is not low-fat, but healthy fat, avocado, nuts, olive oil. These fats actually help reduce inflammation and stabilize blood pressure when eaten in moderation. So if you're still buying low-fat labels thinking you're doing yourself a favor, it may be time to rethink your cart. Now pause for a moment. Out of these 5 habits, too much salt, overdoing stair exercise, sugary juices, long naps, or low-fat processed foods, which one feels the most familiar to you? Which one could you realistically start changing this week? And more importantly, will you make a promise to yourself today? Not to me, not to your doctor, but to yourself. Write it down in the comments. That small act of putting your commitment into words can be the very first step to lowering your blood pressure naturally. After listening to everything we've just walked through together, what do you see in yourself? Was there one habit that made you stop and think, that sounds like me? Maybe it even startled you a little. That's the power of awareness, because once you see it, you can change it. Let's recap. The habits I want you to be most mindful of are these: too much salt, sudden bursts like stair climbing, sugary juices, long daytime naps, and processed foods hiding under a low-fat label. Small things on their own, but together they quietly pull your blood pressure higher. Frank realized this too. At first, he was surprised, even resistant. But when he let go of those habits, he loosened the grip on his arteries. His systolic pressure fell by nearly 15 points, and more importantly, he regained the freedom to enjoy life again. So now it's your turn. Which of those habits struck you the most? Which one will you commit to changing first? Write it in the comments. That simple act can be your very first step toward lower blood pressure and a stronger tomorrow. Before we wrap up, I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest challenge with keeping your blood pressure under control? Was it salt, sleep, or something else entirely? Share your story in the comments, because when you do, you might inspire someone else who's listening right now. And if today's talk opened your eyes, make sure to subscribe and tap that little bell. That way, you won't miss my next tip on healthy aging, senior nutrition, and natural ways to protect your heart. If you found value here, share this video with a friend or loved one. Sometimes one simple message is all it takes to change a life. This is Dr. Jonathan Miller, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me. Until we meet again, take good care of yourself, because you deserve a longer, stronger, healthier tomorrow.